Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Hivemind StarCraft 2 tournament. My name is Evolution Gaming Woodhouse, and I'm bringing you another match from the Platinum and Diamond division of this tournament. Let me make sure I can get all of my players in the same place at the same time here. Waiting on one. We have one in here right now. We do have the runner-up of the Summer Hivemind 2 tournament and the winner of the original StarCraft 2 tournament. So let's see if I actually managed. Yes, I did. Alright, so we have good luck, have fun, readies from all around. We have EvoScipio and Scorah playing on WCS Shakur's Plateau for the first game of this matchup. This is, in fact, the second matchup of the Platinum and Diamond division. Again, my name is Woodhouse, and we'd like to thank our sponsors for this LAN. We'd like to thank Balls, NVIDIA, and MSU, along with the MSU Hivemind. So, spawning down here on the bottom left-hand corner of this map, which is WCS Shakur's Plateau, we do have Scorah spawning as the orange Protoss pieces. His opponent spawning up here on the top right-hand corner, we have EvoScipio spawning as the yellow Protoss pieces. And hopefully Scott can't hear me, considering he's sitting like 4 feet to my left, but it's really loud in here. Because we have a whopping 75 people at this LAN. We even have people out in the hallway, is how packed this house is. A nice follow-up to the Cat Grizz win today, having a LAN. So do see both these players going for somewhat similar builds here. And the scout coming out now for both players. Guys, lay it down. So again, we'd like to thank our sponsors before we get too deep into this game. We'd like to thank NVIDIA, Balls, Montana State University, the MSU Hivemind, Evolution Gaming, Montana State CSL for providing players, I guess. We're going to go with that one too. And yeah. So a reminder, this is WCS Shakur's Plateau, force cross spawns only, as we do see that the delayed have fun, good luck, and we do see the first pro from Scorah coming over here to Scipio's base. Gonna see the mining of minerals, and some of that mineral harass coming out of Scorah. We do see a forge coming out of Scorah as well early on in this game. I'd also like to take a moment to thank our tournament director for this tournament, Freaks. He's been running around like a chicken with his head cut off. He's taking another bite of a sandwich over there that's been open for a couple hours now. Finally getting a chance to eat. Freaks, you stay classy, my friend. Scipio checking around his base now for some extra proxy pylons. We do see more probes being chrono boosted out, taking that gas, getting a second pylon and a gateway down now. Scorah still again. Oh shit. Oh shit, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we're seeing it. We're doing it live. We don't make this shit up here. We do not make this up. We do see the probe from Scorah coming back up into the main base. Scipio is paying attention to his map. Did he see it, Scipio? Uh-oh. Saw the blip. Saw the blip. You see Scorah still in his base. Gonna surround that probe. Does he know any? Does he know? Oh god, he sees it. He does see it now. He does not see exactly everything that's going on here, but he knows what's coming. Oh, this is really bad for Scipio. The cannon does finish. Backed up by that cannon, another cannon goes down. Scipio throwing down a forge of his own. That is the correct response here. Getting one probe. The other one going back to the safety of the cannon. Another cannon building. 2 photon cannons coming down off of that pylon. And he actually did get the probe kill. That little Techo monster probably not going to do much. Scipio needs to be careful. He doesn't have that many units to micro against this. One probe dies. If we go ahead and look at the workers lost half, it is 3-2 at this point. Looks like Scipio checking around the map to make sure his opponent's not there. Cannon and Scipio, though, actually doing a fantastic job of holding off this cannon rush thus far. He does get another zealot out. He is warping in a robotics facility while he still can. It does look like the Cybercore and the Gateway are going to fall, though. No, this is just something I want to see. If we look at the APM tab here, I do not know what he is doing with that much APM, the cannon, but see everybody. Oh, and we do. Fantastic. It does look like Scipio at this point not too messed up by that, actually. I don't think it actually messed up his build order that much. And the Zealot from Scipio coming up. We do have 3 gateways in that lineup. We do have a Zealot coming out now for Scorah. Scipio going to go in and get some of those kills. Scipio doing a little bit of the micro, getting a little caught up there. And a Stargate coming out of Scorah right now. The Immortal for Scipio coming out. Getting another one out now. And again, we look up here. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with all of that because of everything going on. And look at that. This is going to be interesting to see if this actually works out for Scorah. This play does tend to be very, very touch and go, depending upon whether the player has the APM to keep everything up or not. We do see this Immortal up here in the base of Scipio. Going to go ahead and clean these up. Scipio, though, sadly in a pretty hard position to be in as a Protoss player right now. He does not have a gateway up at this point, and he is still a little bit behind. He does have those 2 Immortals out, but that's about it. First Phoenix on the field now for Scorah. And it does look like the expand is going. Cleaning it up. We're going to have to see again how Scipio decides to counter this build. He is throwing down another gateway. And another pylon. Now, if Scipio was paying attention, he does know what is exactly coming to him. I'm not entirely sure how he's going to counter it, though. And there it begins. First gateway back up for Scipio, coming back up now here shortly. If we go back down here and look at Scorah's base, we actually do see he has stopped committing to the Phoenix rush at this point. Or I shouldn't call it a rush, it is actually a pretty viable opening, as you just saw. Scipio, unless he did actually recorrect that, kind of. But actually, until he gets some units out to deal with this, there's not going to be a whole lot he can do about this. Getting a couple more probe kills there. We'll go ahead and look at the workers kill tab. It is 14-5 at this point, meaning that not only was the cannon rush successful, but also the Phoenix transition out of that cannon rush was successful. 3 Immortals just making sure everything is clear at the front, which it still is. And really, if we look at the units tab, there is not that much out on the field for either one of our players at this point. Lifting up the Immortals, there's not really a whole lot Scipio can do about that at this point. He is still... Ooh. That is not good, ladies and gentlemen. Scipio finally getting one stalker out now to deal with this. And finally realizing his mistake, as we do see Chrono Boost being pumped into that now. This actually is quite a few Phoenix for this point, and that stalker is going to go down. They are going to go ahead and take back shots on that Immortal. One Immortal is down. Tickle Monster going to town on those Phoenixes. And it does look, at least for the time being, Scorah is content to just kind of chill on what he has at this point. Going ahead and getting double the ass down here in his main. Got 2 robotics of his own, but he is chronically supplied with it. Opening a couple of pylons to undo that supply block. And we do see Scipio finally starting to stabilize up here. He does still have his double robotics. And we hear Will screaming across from the land playing Artemis. I apologize to anybody who can hear that. Will, we love you. Kind of, I think. We do see Scipio gonna, like I said, go ahead and stabilize now after that opening and subsequent harassment. We're gonna see, cannons there. Gonna have to pay attention. Oh my goodness, Scipio. What did Scipio can? He does see it. He does have 3 stalkers going over there to take it out. Again, this is really, really bad for Scipio. If you do actually look at where he has his next queued and where his eyes are at right now, he's not actually paying attention to getting guys back into that gas.
Having fun over here?
I am having a blast, Jacob. Say hello to the wonderful people of the internet during this cast. As we do have this army from Scorah coming out now to go ahead and push across the map. The armies are going to meet in the middle, but this is a terrible spot. The Immortals are behind and look at the force field surrounded by Scorah, eliminating those stalkers. Deciding not to engage, but having Guardian Shield up right now. Scorah, and Scipio does take down 1 sentry. And the Phoenix has come back in to help try and clean this up. Another Immortal Crab walking its way out onto the field. It is going to get taken apart by this army of Scorah. Picked up and shot down. So actually we do see how Razor's Edge PvP can be here. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the wonders of PvP in StarCraft 2. The Phoenix is continuing to just... Freak's confirming that he is going to be with us for Game 2 to finally get some casting in, as he's been running around babysitting as most of the night goes on. You see force field from Scorah, and the push has begun from Scorah in this matchup. So ladies and gentlemen, after this, we're going to have to take a short break so Freaks and I can sound check, but I would expect that Scipio is in a bad position and not entirely sure how to come back at this point. We do see Zealots coming down now. That one Zealot is going to get taken out. Probe's getting in on the action. Probe's actually doing a surprising amount of damage, killing the one sentry there. Zealots finally being able to come back down, and another Immortal coming out. We do have 2 Immortals out on the field. Oh, and that Colossi from Scorah coming back in. This is not looking good for Scipio. We do see the siege continuing. More force fields going down. And this is just too much for Scipio to handle at this point. As Scorah is microing them Colossi around and pushing his way up the front. 1 gateway is shut down. Going to go ahead and focus another one down. Scipio going to go ahead and start production on one of his robotics facilities. Go ahead and look at the production tab. We do have another Colossi. 1 more coming into the fray. Scipio pulling probes now. Desperate maneuver. And look at those force fields by Scorah. They were fantastic. Another set goes down, killing those. And the GG comes out from Scipio.
Hey, where are you casting?
Want to say anything to the wonderful people of the internet?
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. That is always a fantastic thing. So you can see Xel'Naga Caverns loading in now. Freaks, what would you like to see in this matchup?
I'd like to see a long game. I know the macro out of EvoScipio is at some points. I mean, I know he likes to expand, but he has a hard time holding them. Definitely a hard time holding that 3rd base. I mean, I can say that from experience. For Scott, however, Scorah, I can't vouch for him. I know we did watch. Actually, you probably have more experience than me. J. Lely versus Scorah. What do you have to say about his macro play there?
J. Lely versus Scorah. You know, both of these players, when they actually get kicked into that macro mode, are increasingly fun to watch. Now, just before we continue that thought, spawning up here in the top right-hand corner of the map, which is Xel'Naga Caverns, we do have the yellow pieces as EvoScipio. And would you like to introduce his opponent?
Sure thing. The orange Protoss here on the bottom left is Scorah.
All right. So going back to what you were saying while we get the introduction of this game going, when I got the chance to cast Scorah and Lely, those were some of the best macro games I have seen in a long time.
So I guess that's an indicator.
Yeah. But like I mentioned in the previous cast that I did when you were running around trying to babysit and do all that fun stuff, this map for Protoss, it's going to be interesting to see how these players decide to actually go through and expand. Because as we were talking earlier, look at the third on this map.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really far away.
You have to kill some rocks to get either one of the thirds here.
Well, and then which one do you take? As a Protoss player, which one would you take? If you were playing as Terran, which one of these would you try and take first?
Honestly, I'd go for a 2-base all-in, and I'd finish. I don't think I'd bother with a third.
And we do see Scorah trying to harass where that placement was, finding out that it's not going to end up so hot. We do see timings for both of these players actually relatively similar at this point. Now, in the last game, we did see Scorah go for a cannon rush, and Scipio successfully held it off, but couldn't finish out the game. Blake, what are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I mean, I wish I could have been there to watch that one. I would have liked to see how exactly Scipio wasn't able to come back after a cannon rush. Was he significantly damaged by it?
He lost his first gateway, and then it took him a while to get it. But I would also like to point out, look at Scipio's
yeah, Scorah
base.
stealing the gas.
Double steal on the gas there from Scorah. Is he going to get the cancel? If he lets one of them finish, is he going to let the other one finish? That's a significant investment on his part.
That is.
And he does let the other one finish. So that is 150 minerals that Scorah has.
It will delay gas, and that will delay warp gates. But we do see 3 gateways right here. Was he planning 4 gate?
He might have very well been. At this point, though, does this actually hurt Scipio? I mean, you and I have seen Scipio play quite a bit. Does this actually hurt him?
Well, with 3 gateways, I would assume he's trying to go for some kind of early pressure, and this is definitely going to limit him to zealots. He has 0 gas right now.
And actually, it gives Scorah a lot of vision of what's going on. He sees things that are warping in, doesn't know exactly what they are unless he gets a probe up there.
Do you see that proxy pylon in Scorah's base from Scipio right on the mineral line? I don't even know if he realizes that that is not his own pylon.
I'm not sure, but that could be really devastating if he doesn't figure that out.
It could be later on in the game when Scipio is actually able to get warp gate, because as of right now, yeah, it looks like he did realize that it's not his. But he has nothing to worry about because Scipio, his gases are taken. He can't get any gas, so he can't get warp gates. And he's not going to be able to warp into anything right there.
Yeah, and see, now this is, it's kind of like you were saying, you do see a little bit of pressure coming out of Scipio now. I am surprised, though, that we still have not seen...
Where are these probes going?
Uh-oh.
What's going on here?
Oh, shit.
I think he just said, fuck this.
He very well might have. Ladies and gentlemen, we are witnessing in the making. We're going to follow these probes.
Oh my gosh. I think this might work. This might work. He's got 1 gateway. He does have a photon cannon going up, but that, I don't know. I mean, that's 1 cannon. Having to pull all these probes, he's not going to have very many minerals to spare here. Definitely doing a lot of harassing. He thinks he can go with... Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
This is going to be awesome.
Uh-oh. This is one of those moments when I wish we had a camera on each one of the players just to see their expression.
He does have a stalker out.
Oh, this could be bad. Ladies and gentlemen, it was... Uh-oh.
This doesn't look very good.
No, do I have sticky keys? It looks like I do. There we go. It finally came off with sticky keys.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no, he's going to take down the cannon.
Oh my gosh.
This is where
what is happening right now?
I don't know, but this is where I insert the League of Legends quote, but at what cost? At what
More
cost?
zealots on the way.
More zealots. He's going for it.
He's able to clean it up.
That was actually a pretty significant hit for both players, though. But if we do look at the workers lost tab, actually that goes in the favor of Scipio.
Does it really?
It does, losing 3 more workers. Scorah lost 3 more workers than Scipio.
Looks like Scorah's going to go ahead with a probe right now. Oh, that must be going for a proxy pylon. Didn't know if he was going to go for an expansion, but it looks like 3 more zealots come from Scipio. Just going to bypass those units and go straight for the base once again. There is no photon cannon, so it could do some significant damage.
I would say this is actually a very smart play for Scipio at this point.
Indeed. He's going to lose a lot of probes here.
He's going to lose a lot of probes, and also on top of that, you know, he's forcing Scorah to pull back into his main base.
Definitely. This is a crazy game so far. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. It's kind of...
Although Scorah does hold that off, we have a Zealot down here that is going to die. So I don't actually know where we're at right now in this game.
I don't either. I don't know where this game is going. Both players are basically in the Stone Age at 8 minutes in the game.
I mean, Scipio has no gas at this point. He has not even attempted to break any of that out. Look at what we have coming out of Scorah. Look down at Scorah. Look at the production tab here, and you see exactly what Scorah's got on his mind.
Definitely. He's got Blink, and, well, doesn't have it yet, but he's going for it, and he's got Stalkers, and it looks like a couple more Zealots on the way to Scipio's base, and Scipio has absolutely nothing to do anything about this, except for some probes.
And the pole. And the pole. Oh, and he gets the surround on one.
But these Zealots are on the way, and they're going to do some damage to these probes.
Yeah. This is not looking good for Scipio at all.
He needs to get his Chrono Boost up as fast as possible to get these Zealots out. But he's definitely losing all kinds of probes here.
I would also just like to point out that the score is up 1-0. So Scipio with his back against the wall right now.
This is very frustrating.
We see actually 0 income right now for Scipio on both sides.
It looks like Scorah's coming out on top.
Yeah. At this point, Scipio is he's playing from so far behind, it's almost sickening in a lot of ways.
Yeah, but he's desperate to get back into this.
He is, and he is actually, if anybody can get back into it, I have my faith.
I do too, just seeing the way he's playing, not only in this particular instance, but, you know, overall in our tournaments, he's done some crazy things.
Uh-oh, Blake, oh no.
Freaks,
I'm sorry.
Oh man, got the pylon. Trying to chrono out that Zealot, and he's just going to go kite all of these, well, only 2 Zealots, so it's not going to be able to do a whole lot against these Stalkers. I think this game is nearing its end.
Yeah, at this point, Scipio with a valiant effort, but I don't think it's going to end well.
I thought he was going to come out on top there. He's going to try and get the surround, but as soon as Blink is done, which it looks like it is.
But look at the proxy pylon placement for Scorah.
Yeah, definitely. There goes that Blink micro. Scipio is running out of probes. GG, well played.
So Scorah with the 2-0 moving forward in this tournament. We're going to have to wait just a little bit to see who comes out for the rest of the tournament.